Alan, good to see you again.
Hey, nice seeing you too, man.
How have you been, my friend? You sadly, you've slimmed down. I was hoping you'd get all fat and happy with that money and come in here and be fat like Oliver Miller or something like that and be like, yes, don't have to worry about him next year.
Oh, no, man, I'm just working a little bit harder. And, slimming down is, I didn't try to do it. It's just how I work.
You, is it a misperception about you? Is there kind of a misperception in that when we from afar, or even in Green Bay, even in the place where you've played your entire career, we hear you say things about money and contract and wide receiver and tight end, and, you hear a lot of that stuff, but people on the outside probably don't know exactly how hard you work to do what you want to do. And you do get after it a little bit in the offseason, don't you? Oh,
no doubt, man. It's natural. And if I don't work out all day, every day, I feel like I've done something wrong during my day. So working out is natural, man. It's not. I don't try to do it. I don't think about doing it. I just wake up in the morning. That's what I do. Just like you come here, talk on the radio,
right?
Talk a little noise about
not 8.25, but I do show up here every day.
Very true.
Blake, I need help to get that 8.25 to come in here every single day. Blake Baratz, Institute for Athletes, a little closer to the microphone. You should know that by now.
I think you're well-deserving. I think you might need a new agent. I think you're the best in the game.
Let Jermichael cover his ears for a second. Seriously. Highest paid. This is unbelievable. Well done. Maybe you need to take over for Kyle Rudolph, who stole the show at the Pro Bowl last year.
Possibly, but he's got a few years left, and the Packers, it takes two to tango, so the Packers took care of Jermichael, and they're a good organization, and we can't do it on our own. Jermichael went out and did the work, and hopefully it's just the beginning.
By the way, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, a big Institute for Athletes, Blake Baratz-related week, or a portion of the week, thanks to you. We have one of the better tight ends in the NFL in studio right now. Granted, he wears the wrong colors, but we'll forgive him for that for now. Stevie Brown with 8 picks in studio tomorrow. The red and blue of football immortality, the Giants. And then I understand on Friday maybe Michigan State defensive end William Golston and maybe Desmond Bishop. I might have to hold off on Desmond a little bit. Let me think about that. It's a heavy Packers influence on the home for the Vikings over 3 days. So Jermichael's a cinch every time. I got to think about Desmond a little bit, if you don't mind.
Hey, it's an Institute for Athletes marathon here. We're going to try to get the station changed to the Institute for Athletes, get K-Fan out of there. We're just trying to take over the station if possible.
You got money. Have money. We'll travel. Don't worry about that. 8.25.
I guess the Packers taking over the city.
No, it's not happening. But see, the thing with Desmond, good morning. The thing with Desmond is I recognize for your defense last year, the omission of Desmond Bishop for the entire season hurt you guys on many levels.
No doubt.
So I don't want Desmond to come in here and then me have to be like, great, you're going to play next year, you're not going to be hurt, defense is going to be better, not going to miss Charles Woodson. I don't know if I want to deal with that. I'd rather deal with 8.25.
Like you say, Desmond is a big asset to our defense, and it was much needed last year, and he had an injury, and that happens in the league, and the Packers had to replace him, but you can't replace a guy like Desmond Bishop. So hopefully come back healthy this year and with a bang.
Jermichael, what's with all the cameras? I mean, you rolled in here with a posse that would make a boxer blush. It's unbelievable.
Oh, man, I guess the life in Finley shoes, I guess.
Yeah, and you're wearing Indianapolis Colts colors. I was hoping you would come in here
not at all.
And break news and say, the Colts just traded for me and they gave up this and this.
I like the match, man, head to toe. That's all that is. No Colts, not at all.
Is this a Jermichael Finley documentary or something that we're doing right here, Mr. Blake Baratz?
Yeah, this is a company, Full Circle Intermedia, that does a phenomenal job. They're a branding company on the East Coast, and they work with a few of our clients, Kirk Coleman being one of them, and they're getting started with Golston, and they're here to get more content of they're going to end up putting out an 18-minute series on Jermichael and his life, and so everyone can really see what he's doing. And it's not scripted, it's not planned. Everyone's going to really see what he's like, good, bad, or indifferent, and similar to a Hard Knocks type or a 30 for 30. And I think, in my opinion, that's where the world is going. That's where the fans want to see. They don't want to see the scripted press conferences and every every T crossed and every I dotted. They want to. If I was a fan, which I am, I would want to see what these guys are really living like and what they're doing day in and day out, and the good, the bad, the indifferent, and let people judge for themselves. So that's what they're here to do, and we'll let everyone know as soon as it goes live.
So you're saying you want cameras on the charters in the Boo-ray game?
That would be great.
That's not happening.
It would have to be on a certain channel so children can watch, but as much access as possible. There's a line that can't be crossed, but access is key, in my opinion.
Blake Baratz, local agent, Institute for Athletes, client Jermichael Finley in studio. Now, we have another football player joining us in studio later, in fact, about an hour from now. He's Minnesota Vikings linebacker Erin Henderson. Erin is a weekly guest on my radio show during the football season.
Nice.
I don't know if you know who he is. Jermichael wears number 50 for the Vikings.
Oh, I know him.
Well, he probably covered you up about 20, 30 times, and you absolutely got nothing.
Really? I remember that.
You don't remember like that?
I remember that yellow flag coming out every single time because he holding me all the time.
Erin Henderson, is that true what Jermichael Finley just said?
Don't bother lie, PA. Don't bother lie, man. Don't bother lie.
Every single time.
Hey, Jermichael, what up, big dog?
What up, man? You good?
They got me one time. They flagged me for it one time, man. And listen, I earned that flag. I worked hard for that flag. You know?
No, I
pretty strong kid, man. I had to do something. You know, you weren't just gonna push me around.
I can't. No, I came out with a black eye and with black pebbles on my eye.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was torn, man. I'm like, wait a minute. They got this dude sitting in my seat. Like, wait, I don't know how I feel about this. Like,
Erin.
I was looking on my Twitter and I saw that I'm coming in after you. I was a little confused and conflicted, man.
Erin, I didn't let Jermichael Finley know that you were on the line right now, so I set him up with that. Erin just
he got me real good.
And hey, when you came on the line, he was backpedaling like Nnamdi Asomugha trying to keep up with Julio Jones.
Not at all.
It was unbelievable. He was doing the moonwalk. The late Michael Jackson was blushing.
Hey, like I just said, we taking over the city.
All right, Erin, I'll see you in a little bit, all right?
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Jermichael, I like that dance you do, bro. Keep doing it. Just not on us, all right?
Yes, sir. I'll see you, man.
No doubt.
That's that's like $11 million in contracts we just had on the phone line right there, because Erin just got a new deal too. Let's go. Now let's get serious for a second. You do realize if Christian does not throw the ball right to Morgan Burnett early third quarter at Lambeau Field, we sweep the Green Bay Packers last year.
In the red zone? It was in the red zone, right?
Yes, it was. You might know this running back named Adrian Peterson. He's pretty good. What he did was he after having like an 80-some-odd yard touchdown run, where he left the entire town in the wake of his keen turn of speed.
Look at you.
He got around the left side and he was loose. And Tramon Williams saved the day for you, because if Tramon quits on the play, because Adrian's gone, you may have heard of him, he was the MVP. If Tramon quits on the play, Adrian's in, and we score, and we probably win, because you were losing players left and right. Jordy came in, Jordy dead.
Hold on. You said probably win.
We would have been up 11, and our defense probably would have. We would have taken away your running game.
It's already in the books, brother.
There would have been no James Starks touchdown around the right edge. So Tramon Williams saves the day. It runs down Adrian. Then Christian throws it right to Morgan Burnett, the worst Christian Ponder pass we've ever seen, and I've seen all of his passes. If Christian does not throw the ball to Morgan, you do realize that we probably sweep you last year and win the division, Jermichael.
I don't know about that. I think Morgan made a great play on that play. I don't think Christian threw it right to him.
Threw it right to him.
I didn't see that.
Could not have. If it was a spear, Morgan Burnett would have died. Seriously, it would have gone right. Was he 42?
Yeah.
Would have gone right between the 4 and the 2 if he had dropped it.
Oh man.
So then we would have won, and he would have died.
I don't know. I think Christian. I think he made a great throw on that, and I think Morgan made a great play.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I know. I don't know what to say.
Okay. Well, it's because you're backpedaling again right now because of that Erin Henderson thing. This is with all due respect. I'm a fan from afar, of course.
Oh man, you're gonna make this game be really hostile next year, huh?
Well, no, I appreciate what you do and what you did and everything. I'm just saying we had the win in at the end of the season, and we had to win that game to get in, and we did.
Right.
And then we had that little thing at Lambeau the next week that we can talk about some other time. I think they call it a playoff game. But anyway.
It's all about the finish.
Yeah, we're just, exactly. We're doing our best we can to try to cut into the margin here of the division champions. And, in cutting into that margin, we're quite happy with that receiver that we pilfered from you guys, Greg Jennings.
He's gonna be a big playmaker, and I see Christian Ponder being a great quarterback next year. You got a guy like Greg Jennings who is going to detail every aspect of his game and Christian Ponder's, and he's gonna stay in his ear. I promise you that.
So you're sad that you lost him?
Pretty sad. Greg is not only a great player, he's a great person off the field also. Mm-hmm. So I would think the city of Minneapolis got a great person.
Do you think it will deplete your entire receiving core by losing Greg Jennings?
Like I say, he's a great player, and we got a lot of guys on the shelf right now, and the mastermind and Ted Thompson, he's going to make something happen. So, like I say, I think we're still going to be a force to be reckoned with, and we got the best quarterback in the league, so he can make things happen like that.
When did you guys trade for Tom Brady? Did I always? Tom Brady got traded.
We got another 12.
Oh, that 12's pretty good too. Yeah, we used to have a 12, but then they got bored with each other and moved him off to Seattle and stuff like that.
That one.
Percy Harvey.
That was a big move.
Jermichael, we have a running back here named Adrian Peterson. You may have heard of him. He's pretty good. What'd you think of his season last year?
Coming off ACL and doing the things he did last year, I would say he's an animal. He's something you don't see often, but I haven't seen nothing like that ever. And how long can you run like that?
You're handling these cameras beautifully, but then of course I would know that you've been to camera handling school, because I remember, I think it might have been before the playoff game when we were in Green Bay last year. I caught the Jermichael Finley show on TV. You have a Jermichael Finley show, right?
Yes, sir.
You're in studio. Is it with this lady?
It's with a lady, of course.
Yep.
And we go to the bar. It's at what is it?
Well, there has to only be one bar or restaurant. It's Green Bay.
Yeah, very true.
It's not Austin. We're not looking at New York City here or anything. It was probably at Kroll's West, sponsored by the Butterburger.
I always love that one.
Well, I got the care. You got him trained up well, don't you, Blake? I mean, I cannot get.
I told you, Blake is the best in the business right now.
You got his younger brother here. He's loving every minute of it because somebody gets to trash talk Big Brother, which he undoubtedly probably does. But I cannot bait him in to any form of trash talking right now.
You can keep trying though.
Well, no, because then you'll just say
you just got to massage me a little.
I don't want to massage you. I'd rather massage the camera person if you don't mind.
I think he went numb. Normally, it's all he does. So,
really?
Yeah, I don't know what you're not getting the best out of him, PA. You gotta hit him where it hurts.
It's one of two things: fat and happy off the 8.25, or legitimately fearful of everything purple and gold creeping up on that butt.
Hey, the 8.25, the fat and happy, I would never be. You can give me 100 mil, I still won't be fat and happy.
Really?
They'll just put a little bit more fire into me to get some more.
Yeah. Of that 8.25, how much do I get for this Institute for Athletes promotion right here?
It's a negotiation.
$75,000, is that good?
It's a negotiation between the three of us. It's,
all right, good.
No verbal agreements here. We'll discuss it off camera.
You give me $250,000, I'll give the station half for the plug hole. We'll go down to Continental Diamond on the first floor. I'll hook up Jermichael with Uncle Jimmy. He'll make the earlobes look good. We'll even take care of the little brother, and then we'll kick the producer in the nuts and call it a day.
What are we talking about again?
Does that sound good?
That's a perfect deal.
I want to chat NFL draft with you and Jermichael Finley. Blake. Greg Jennings' former teammate Jermichael Finley tied in for the Green Bay Packers, in studio now with his agent Blake Baratz. And Blake is the founder and president of the Institute for Athletes. Blake, my dear friend Corey Chafe is longtime safety in the NFL. He runs a company called DraftNasty.com. I had him on the radio show a little earlier, and here's what he had to say about your prized prospect, Jermichael Finley.
He has become what you thought he would become in the NFL. A little bit of concern at times with the drops. I just think there was a concentration lapses. Extremely talented. That's the reason why I think he's back there now. He's always going to be a player that presents matchup problems, but I like to see him take the next step. And if he can, maybe he can turn into that next, because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Antonio Gates.
And, Corey, how should I handle the chat with number 88?
You're a Viking, he's a Packer, and you got to say, listen, my guy went to the Pro Bowl, had 6, 7 more touchdowns than you this year. He had your 2011 season twofold almost. So I don't know. I think you got to mess with him a little bit about that.
I'd like to mess with you with about that, but you could just trump the conversation by saying 8.25.
Hey,
but Kyle Rudolph's a good tight end.
He's real good.
Yep, only 2 years.
I like Kyle. I work out with him in the summertime, but it's no competing. Like I said, I think he's good. And you just said it was $8.2 million.
The elite draft mind and football mind Corey Chavis kind of compared you to Antonio Gates a little bit. Obviously, a younger Antonio Gates. He's nearing the end. That's lofty praise for Mr. Corey Chavis.
It's lofty. I think Antonio he's a good tight end, but the tight end I would like to mimic is Gonzalez. He's been going for a minute. He's maintaining and he's consistent. So. That's why I would like to take my game.
Blake, the NFL draft. What do you think of the quarterbacks coming into the draft? Specifically, Geno Smith, Matt Barkley, maybe the Nassib bit from Syracuse. Who else? E.J. Manuel gets some run. What do you think of the quarterbacks? Do you think there's one requisite of the first round?
You know what? There's, in my opinion, and I haven't spent hours and hours breaking these guys down, but I don't see a Matt Ryan, Andrew Luck, and RG3. I see more of the Andy Dalton type, the guys that I would consider, second, third round picks. But if you need a quarterback, you may take one in the first round because they're so hard to come by. And with the new collective bargaining agreement, they took so much money out of the top 10, top 20 picks that you can be wrong. In the old system, you couldn't be wrong. If you're wrong, you're Jamarcus Russell, and you're setting the Raiders back a decade.
Oof.
Under the new system, the number one pick's making $5 million a year.
Yep.
I mean, what the Vikings just signed Matt Castle for to be a backup? $4 million a year?
4.
All right, so if you're wrong, you're wrong. You choose a quarterback the next year. You're not that invested like you used to be.
Why do you think why do you think guys like Antoine Winfield and Charles Woodson are still on the street? I know Charles missed the majority of the year last year, and then when he missed like 9 or 10 games. Then when he came back, okay, maybe he wasn't as willing or as aggressive against the run as he had been. But still, I'm a huge Charles Woodson guy, and when he's healthy and happy, that's HOF, man. And yeah. I've seen Antoine the majority of his career. He played 90% of our snaps last year, had like 110 tackles, like 13 tackles for loss. Why do you think guys like that are still out there?
Well, it's a very, very difficult scenario, and there's a lot of guys, the James Harrisons, even the Vilmas, the Brian Urlachers. I have one with Paris Lennon in Arizona. The NFL has a tendency to look at guys when they get over the age of 30 as if they're just about to break down. And you have to look, in my opinion, you have to look at each case individually. Paris Lennon is 35 years old and played 90-some% of the snaps at middle linebacker for the Cardinals the last 2 years and is in better shape than some of our rookies at 22 that are coming into the draft.
Wow.
But no one's taken the time to look into that.
Right.
So they're kind of just looked at as they're about to fall apart, and it's a matter of time. Not to mention the salaries that they've commanded over time. They got to be willing to take a reduction in order to fit in. So you automatically weed out all of the rebuilding teams. If you're rebuilding, why are you going to go get Charles Woodson or Antoine Winfield or Paris Lennon? You're going to go give your first-round pick or second-round pick or third-round pick an opportunity, which makes sense. And so now you're looking at half the teams in the league or a third of the teams in the league. They're trying to go compete. The New Englands, the Pittsburghs, the Green Bays, the Texans, the Ravens, that maybe you're a 1 or 2 year stopgap like Ed Reed in Houston to go win a Super Bowl.
And Brian Urlacher, Jermichael, it will be weird for all NFC North teams, specifically yours, Vikings, and Lions, to play against the Bears and have no 54 roaming around the defense, right?
Oh man, it'll be awesome because he's one of them. He's one of them guys that he's savvy. He's going to read the offense and pretty much knows our playbook in and out. And it would be nice to have him out the NFC.
Have you noticed anything with Brian where maybe he had become a step slower on certain things? Because I kept hearing for 5 years, that you want to attack Brian Urlacher with the run, attack Urlacher and Nick Roach. Go right at them with the run, mash on them with your big tackles and guards and Pro Bowl fullback Jerome Felton and stuff. But that's our running game.
Right.
I mean, it's like your passing game. Your passing game's elite. Our running game is elite. So just because he might get pushed around a little bit with the Vikings running game doesn't necessarily mean that's who he is.
Of course, he's had injuries here and there, and I would say he slowed up a little, but he still had the knowledge to overcome the slow step that he had. He just he knows the game, so he can overcome being slow.
And Urlacher's is injury related. There's a big difference between injury related and age related. You know, Urlacher had serious injuries, and that's what slowed him up, not because of his age. If he was healthy at this age, he'd be moving like Antoine Winfield or any of these other guys that are still playing great football at their age.
So, Blake, does your team indicate after the draft, after teams kind of see what they want with the middle linebacker spot from Manti Te'o to Alec Ogletree, the Minter kid, so on and so on, that maybe closer to training camp, somebody like Brian Urlacher will be signed?
Yeah, I think it takes a particular type of situation. I think teams may get what they want in the draft or they may not. And as soon as training camp starts, guys are going to start to go down left and right. And middle linebackers are going to go down, and running backs are going to go down, and wide receivers are going to go down. And certain teams are going to look for a veteran presence that didn't need minicamp, didn't need OTAs, didn't need training camp, that they can plug and play, stick right in, because you can't just stick your undrafted free agent linebacker in at middle linebacker, expect them to get everybody lined up, call the plays, and go out on Sunday and beat the elite teams in the National Football League. It's going to take an Urlacher or a James Harrison or a Paris Lennon or an Antoine Winfield to be able to go do that. You can plug those guys in. They're professionals.
Jermichael, weird question. Vikings, after they trade Percy Harvin to Seattle, we end up with Seattle's first-round pick, and 7th this year and 3rd next year. So the Vikings, 10 wins last year, got closer to you than most people thought they would, made the playoffs, lost at your place, first round of the playoffs. From 23 and 25, just be an elite football mind. What do you think the Vikings should do in the draft at 23 and 25? Particular spots, players, what do you think?
I would say go defense for sure. I would say go linebacker, 23, and go safety at 25. Right. I would say load the defense up. You got the best running game in the league. You got one of the best receivers now in the league.
You think Greg's still one of the best?
In my opinion, I do, just because I work with him every day. I know what he got. I know the moves he got, and he's healthy right now, so I would say he's one of them. One of the best receivers in the league still right now.
Nice tight end, and Kyle Rudolph. Nice offensive line. Khalil over to Phil Loadhole. Probably, with all due respect to everybody involved, probably the best in the division.
I would say it's just you just need to detail the quarterback up. Yeah. Other than that, your offense is really loaded.
Fairly stated. It was an incomplete for Christian last year. Started beautifully, fell apart in the middle, bottomed out when he threw it right to Morgan Burnett. That was the bottom. Well, because we win that game and we win the division, I think everybody knows that.
I think Morgan made a good play on that one. I don't think he threw it right to him.
Jermichael, there was no route jumping. Right to him. So, but nevertheless, Christian finished beautifully. And final game of the season, winning in, he played with Aaron Rodgers. It's not like he dramatically outplayed the best in the game, and I do think Aaron's the best overall in the game, trash talking aside. He played with him at 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. If we don't get a game like that from Christian, we don't go to the playoffs. Sadly, he couldn't play the next week.
I would think Greg is going to be a big help for Christian, just because if Greg see Christian messing, he's going to give him one chance, and he's going to be in his ear like a little gnat. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to see.
How does this sound? Ponder takes the snap, fakes a handoff to Adrian, looks left, pumps, fires deep right. Oh, Jennings got behind Tramon Williams on a double move. Caught at the 20-10 touchdown. Vikings lead by 10.
That's far-fetched.
Far-fetched?
That's far-fetched.
Oh, jeez, Jermichael, now you're starting to get mean. Outside of the paychecks, what do you like most about playing in the NFL?
I just like the fun in it, man, and the competing. I'm a competitor, and I just love the game. I love going to work every day with the guys, talking to the coaches, learning new things every day.
Blake, who goes first in the NFL draft and why? And you have a right to change this because I get you today, tomorrow, and Friday, and probably closer to the draft, maybe just you in studio to talk about the business of the NFL and the draft and stuff. But any guesses as to who? This is a very, very unpredictable draft.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Kansas City holds the pick, they need offensive line help. So I think it'll be one of those offensive tackles.
Luke Joeckel?
Could be. It could be. They have they have Albert back there, but they don't have a lot of stability on their offensive line, and with John Dorsey coming in from Green Bay and Andy Reid coming in from Philly, they're trying to build their own stable of guys and guys that they want. And I wouldn't be surprised if they traded out of the pick. I don't know how much demand there's going to be to trade up to one because there's not that superstar Andrew Luck that you can't find anywhere else. So I think if they keep the pick, they take one of the offensive linemen. Ultimately, it'll be up to their scouting department who they think is best. But I think you're right. I don't see a great difference in the first overall pick and the 75th overall pick in this year's draft. The good scouting departments are going to get a lot better this year in the National Football League. The teams that can stockpile second, third, fourth round picks and hit on them, they're going to get the same quality that the guys are getting in the top 5, but they're going to be paying them $600,000 a year instead of $5 million a year.
Blake Baratz, Jermichael Finley's the big dog in your stable. How well did it go over between you two when you ripped Aaron Rodgers on Twitter last year?
Oh, I think Jermichael knows me, so our relationship goes a lot deeper than any one conversation, any one tweet, he knows me as well as my wife knows me. I know him and his family as well as anyone. And
so you just had a moment of vulnerability there, didn't you?
I mean, I think I apologized to him because he got
Erin
dragged,
or Jermichael?
Well, to both, but really to Jermichael because he got dragged into something that he had nothing to do with.
Okay.
That's what I was apologetic for, not necessarily what I said. I was apologetic that because the assumption was that Jermichael told me something which was so far from the truth. I have other clients on the Packers. No one said a word. I could say something about Michael Vick, and I have Philadelphia Eagles clients, but no one says a word. Everyone just attached it to him because he's also said so many comments relating to Aaron Rodgers. That's what I felt bad for.
Okay.
But I never thought that our relationship would be jeopardized because of it.
Jermichael Finley's younger brother, in closing. Let's close this up to get him in the documentary. Young man, put the microphone in front of you for a second, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Paul Allen. What's your name?
I'm doing well. I'm Qatar's.
A guitarist?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
From Dalball, Texas.
What's it like being Jermichael Finley's younger brother?
Oh, man, it's awesome, man. He's shown me a lot. I'm his younger brother. He's like a father figure to me. It was just me and him and our grandma. So it's awesome, man, seeing him do these things, man. It's pretty motivation, man.
Motivational. You got a nice build to you. You got some athlete to you. I mean,
yeah, I'm actually a running back.
Where?
Texas College.
Holy
Tyler,
cow.
Texas. Yeah.
Tyler, Texas. That's a football haven.
Yeah.
Excellent. So in closing, is it true what you told me in private between segments that you said, look, Paul, nice to meet you. I'm really a bigger Vikings fan than a Packers fan.
I always
But
love
don't
that
tell
one.
my bigger brher.
Definitely not.
My big brother. Is that true?
Definitely not, man.
Well, who's your favorite NFL team?
Oh, man, I got to go with the Packers.
What about the Cowboys? You cut your teeth in Tyler, Texas.
Actually, the Cowboys was my childhood team, though.
Really?
Just because Troy Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin.
You just wanted a key to the White House.
No doubt.
Yeah, but now the White House is shut down. So, hey, get the cameras in the White House. That's a documentary we're all going to want to watch.
I always love that.
Yeah, with Nate Newton. So anyway, pleasure meeting you, young man.
As well.
Thanks for coming by. Best of luck to your running back career. How old are you?
22.
Well, that's nice, man. Yeah,
Yes,
get
sir.
lucky.
Yes,
got an
sir.
agent here, got big brother here, cameras around you, radio show. This is good training for you.
Yeah,
We need to put some cameras around you.
Good. No, you can't fit all three of my chins in one lens. Okay, so
I always love
let me
that
have
one.
chin reduction surgery, and I'll get my eyebrows done so it's not just one, and then maybe we can talk, okay? I look forward, as usual, seeing you on the field before Vikings and Green Bay games.
No doubt.
Best of luck to your